What's going on, guys? HomeWithYour7 here today with another video. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is what game companies are doing wrong, and I'm going to explain what they're doing wrong and what they should be doing, right? And I'm just going to get right into it here. So I don't know what this gameplay is going to be in the background, but yeah, I'll just get right into it. So basically, with broken games releasing like Assassin's Creed Unity, games that are lacking content like Destiny, and then pay-to-win games like H1Z1 all being released, game consumers are getting very pissed off. You know, like Ubisoft just had a terrible release of games this year. Ubisoft Art did very well, you know, with they made that one World War II game. I totally forgot the title, but you know, Ubisoft Art did a very that game company did a very good job this year. They made very high quality games, but Ubisoft in general, like Watch Dogs was decent. You know, Assassin's Creed Unity was just terrible. In my opinion, Assassin's Creed Rogue was a lot better. I didn't actually play Rogue. I watched it, you know, walk through. But that, from what it looked like, it didn't look broken like Assassin's Creed Unity. And Assassin's Creed Unity, it just felt like, you know, you weren't controlling your character. You were just kind of telling him where to move. It was really bad, in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm not gonna rant about Ubisoft. I'm just, you know, giving examples. But basically, what these game companies don't understand, that us as consumers, if these game companies make a very good game, look at the games like Last of Us. You know, it was a very pretty game. It didn't have 60 FPS. I think it ran at 30 FPS, or around that. I think it was upscaled to 1080p. It could be native. I'm not sure. I know definitely the remastered version was native at 1080p, but I think on the PS3 it was upscaled upscaled 1080p. But that game was very good. It was very high quality. And people went back and bought the DLC, even though the FPS wasn't too bad. You know, the game, obviously every game when it comes out will have its problems. I'm not saying a game will ever come out and it'll have no bugs, be perfect. But I'm saying, as in, people went back and bought the DLC. They bought the gun DLC, but they bought the story DLC. They bought the multiplayer DLC because everything in that game was great. You look at games like CSGO, where you could pay for gun skins. You don't need gun skins, but they look very nice, you know. And gun skins go all the way up to $4,000, but it's not a pay-to-win aspect, and that's what people need to realize. As gamers, we don't want to have to pay to win for these type of games. And then you look at games like Destiny, right, where no one really bought the Dark Below. Dark Below was still very crap. In my opinion, the DLC was, you know, it wasn't as good as, you know, it could have been. And Dark Below was supposed to be in the game at release, you know, but they said no, we're gonna have to take it back so we can do DLC for this game. And it's just lacking content. Literally, there's maybe 10 guns in Destiny, but with different sights, you know, different, you know, camos, if you will. You know, certain guns, you know, look different. And to me, that's, I don't know. I don't want that in a game, and I don't think a lot of people do either, because of the reviews it got, because of people who complain about it. If these game companies, you know, Activision, you know, I'm just gonna use Treyarch ones, you know, or Treyarch ones. I'm gonna use like Call of Duty, for example, right? If these game companies made an actual quality good game, any game company, that could be Ubisoft, you know, any game company can make. If they make a high quality game, that the core element of the game isn't broken. You know, there's always going to be bugs, like I said, but if the core element of a game isn't broken, people will come back and buy the DLC. People will come back and spend money on your game because the game itself isn't broken and people enjoyed it when it's launched. But then these game companies are thinking, why isn't anyone buying our DLC? Because the core gameplay is shit. And I understand you're just trying to throw content, but if you don't fix the game, no one's gonna come play your DLC. I'm gonna give Call of Duty Ghost for example. Call of Duty Ghost was such a terrible game, and there's so many issues with it, right? They didn't fix patches after almost a year of the game being out. They didn't fix glitches in the game, and it's a $1 billion franchise. There's no reason they were just lazy. They just, you know, there's no reason they couldn't do it. They just didn't do it. If that makes any sense, right? And basically, that was the first Call of Duty game I did not buy DLC for a Call of Duty. Every Call of Duty before that I've owned, I've bought all the DLC for. Even World at War, I didn't get World at War when it released, but I still got all the DLC for that game so I could play zombies, so I could see the map, stuff like that. Even though it's now hacked, you know, you can't really play it, but I still bought, I bought the DLC on my computer and on my Xbox, right? And But then the Call of Duty Ghosts was the first game I did not buy any DLC for that game. I only bought the first DLC that came out, giving it the benefit of the doubt, maybe they'll fix the bugs. After that, I didn't buy any other DLC, and it's because the core aspect of the game isn't broken. If you make a game that the core elements are great, you know, the combat feels good, whatever you're making, you know, let's say you're making a racing game, the racing feels good, you know, there's no lag, there's no FPS drops for the PC and the consoles. I know, like Assassin's Creed, you know, they had the texture glitches. I know, at least on the Xbox One, I've experienced it, the very, like, you know, you get down to 1 digits FPS drops on Xbox One. I didn't honestly play Assassin's Creed Unity on my PC. I feel like Assassin's Creed is more of a controller type game. It's made for consoles. Usually the PC ports are really bad, but this year the console ports were also, you know, just as terrible as the PC ports, right? So I know I'm kind of rambling on, and I know it's kind of a rant video, but I just want these game companies to understand. I know they're not going to watch this video, you know, I'm the smallest YouTuber, you know, but, you know, maybe this video will get kind of, you know, maybe get some recognition, but and I do think people agree with me. If these game companies make a game that the core aspects of the game are great, they're fluent, no FPS drops, it feels like I'm playing an actual good game, people will come back and buy your DLC. People will come back and buy your game the next year, sequels, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I know it's 60 minutes, a little bit long video, but leave a like if you enjoyed, you know, leave a comment. I answer all your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, you know, for future, you know, commentaries like this. But I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.